Hello, YouTube. So I'm just going to jump in very quickly to discuss this whole the Odyssey thing. So a little bit about my background. I am a film student, a film graduate. I went to film school. I worked in TV for a little while, but I haven't actually worked on a film set or in a film other than student films, etc. So that's my 2 cents on my background. Now, in terms of the casting of the Odyssey, I agree with the channels that I have watched. The Metatron is an amazing channel. Please go check him out. He can give you all the history of Greece and Greek armor and the look of the Greeks and the ethnicity of the Greeks and the DNA makeups and everything. And like I said, he's great on the armor and the helmets and everything that Christopher Nolan has got absolutely 100% wrong. Not accurate at all, not period accurate, not the Odyssey accurate, not descriptive accurate. It's just awful. And then there's Jay Dillon. You can check him out. He's discussed it as well. He's specifically discussed Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. I will get into that. That is a big thing. That is irking everyone. And then I've watched various videos from various creators. Everyone's saying the same thing, as far as I'm aware. And check out Sydney Watson as well. She's amazing. She's discussed it in depth as well. Now, a lot of the arguments that are being made by a certain demographic is that this is a myth, and Helen of Troy was born the daughter of Zeus from a swan's egg. So why couldn't she be black? I'll tell you why she couldn't be black. Because this is a Greek myth that is mixed in with historical fact. So it's not 100% myth. If it was 100% myth, maybe you would have a little bit of a leg to stand on, but it's not. This is mixed in, lumped in with a lot of battles that actually happened, etc. They were all lumped into one story. Homer, who wrote the Odyssey, then wrote myth into it, etc. I'm not a historian. It's been ages since I've read the Iliad or the Odyssey, so I can't go in depth that way about it. So that's that. Now, this is Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships, is not Lupita Nyong'o. I'm sorry, but it's not. And her backlash, she's commented on this now, doing the same thing that always happens, saying that it's racist. It is not racist to say that you do not fit the bill for the character of Helen of Troy. It's not racist to say that, and she doesn't, and there are so many various ways in which she does not fit the bill for that character. There is other casting disasters. There is. We have a rapper that I don't think has ever acted in his life, Travis Scott, I think it is, who's going to be part of this. That's just insane. And I think the reason was because of like spoken word poetry or recitation in Greek history and all of that. No. You know, they tried to do this with Anthony Hopkins in, I believe the film was Alexander. This spoken word telling of the tale over like narrative talking over it. I can't voiceover, whatever it is. And that failed. I mean, I love Anthony Hopkins, but and I liked the Alexander, one cut of the Alexander film, but that was a pretty disastrous movie as well. To be honest, all over the place, was not very, but at least the representations of the characters in that film, I would say, were pretty accurate. They looked accurate enough to me. The Metatron can weigh in here on the hairstyles and the armour and whatever. It is what it is. They kind of kept to the story of Alexander and all his Alexandrias and all the rest of it. It was an okay film. It was watchable. I liked it. But if you are wanting a more accurate version of this, the Odyssey story, then the Troy film with Brad Pitt. Right? Whoever played the actress Helen of Troy in that's Helen of Troy. Sorry, people. Actually, sorry, not sorry. That is a face that could launch 1,000 ships. And I've heard a lot of guys saying, oh, you could have just cast Sydney Sweeney. Well, you can't say on one hand, you could have cast Sydney Sweeney, and then say on the other hand, it should have had all Greek actors, right? So I'm in neither of those camps. It didn't need to have all Greek actors, right? This is the film world we're talking about here, right? You just need to stop with the DEI. You need to stop it, and you need to cast characters how they're described and how they look. This is happening too much. We have this Black Snape thing, which is getting severe backlash. He's written in the books. The way that he's described is very clear. J.K. Rowling even done sketches of him. Alan Rickman played him, for God's sake. And what's the guy from Star Wars was sitting right there. He was sitting right there and you could have used him. I can't remember what it was. Adam Driver, is it? You could have just used him. Perfect. Would have been perfect casting. And another one, which I'm going to make more in-depth videos on because they are my favourite, amongst my favourite novels. And although that I do love the show and I do like how certain things have been done in the show, Interview with the Vampire, right? For example, this, and they've now, on a third, there's 2 seasons of the Interview with the Vampire. They stretched that book into 2 seasons. It's like The Hobbit. I don't know why you even needed to do that. I will discuss it in a further video. They're now moving on to the novel The Vampire Lestat, and they will be doing a 3rd season, which is called that. Now, the character Louis Dupont de Lac is white. He is white. He is a plantation owner who owns slaves. And for DEI purposes, they've made him black. They've made him a black pimp. Right? So, a black pimp who's living in New Orleans is nothing to do with a white plantation owner who had black slaves. Right? Why have you done this? Why have you done this? You're pandering to a certain demographic. That's why you've done it. Because if you had made the show and you had made Louis how he was supposed to be, white, with a white brother, white sister, white mother, plantation owner with black slaves, who, by the way, he's quite racist to in the book. If you go and actually read the book, he has some quite racist descriptions of these black slaves. Right? So it's acceptable now to turn him black and make him a pimp owner in New Orleans. That's got nothing to do with the original text. In my opinion, it's a betrayal of the original text. I will make separate videos on these. This is about the Odyssey, right? The Odyssey casting is atrocious. The dislike view, I don't know how to get it. Jay Dillon, that channel, has managed to get the dislikes on the trailer. They are the most dislikes of any trailer that Christopher Nolan has ever put out for any film. Right? So, there is backlash, and at this point, the Odyssey, in my humble opinion, not that it matters, I'm just somebody sitting in my living room here in Scotland, it should be scrapped. It should be scrapped. It's like when they made that Cleopatra Netflix show, and I think they were privately sued. They weren't sued by the Egyptian government or anything like that, but I think they were privately sued by some lawyers in Egypt because Cleopatra was not black. Right? She was not black. The Egyptians were not black. Okay? I've been to Egypt. I have been to Egypt. And you can look up that famous historian Zahi Hawass. You can read any books. You can say, well, why is there black people painted on their murals? Well, because they're in Africa, and they would have bloody encountered black people, wouldn't they? And they would have depicted them. But the Egyptians themselves, the ethnic Egyptians, were not black. They weren't. And depictions of them in films using white people that have shaved their heads and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of the film where they did that. I think it was some rendition of Moses. The guy who played the Dark Knight, who played Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, he was Moses, I think. I can't remember his name. Yeah, so there's whitewashing of ancient Egyptians, and then there's, for want of a better word, black basting. I know that sounds awful, but that's kind of what it is, of these historical characters or myth or characters that have descriptions from books where they're clearly white. Right? And they're also doing it to real life historical characters where we have ancient descriptions of them and ancient texts and all the rest of it where they're not white. Right? This should be insulting to you if you're a person of colour, if you're black. It should be insulting that somebody like Lupita Nyong'o is Helen of Troy, or, don't get me wrong, I love Jacob Anderson and I hate saying this, but that Jacob Anderson is Louis Dupont-Dulac. It should anger you that these people are getting cast as these white characters. It should anger you. Where are your films from your countries that are your kings and queens, that are your stories of heroes, that are your African Helen of Troy equivalent? Where are, or if you are from another country, say, and characters have been cast, Asian characters or anybody like that have replaced white characters or whatever, this diversity and inclusion thing, scrap it, right? Scrap it. It's not doing anyone any good. In fact, it's causing more division than it's solving, and it's causing more harm, and it's seeping into everything from jobs to Hollywood. There's this thing called the message and the agenda that's getting pushed on everyone, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. If you do not fit the description of the character, of the book, or the historical, or the myth, or whatever that you are being, don't cast that person. Don't audition for that part. It's an insult to you. It's an insult. You're taking white parts. You're taking white parts. Why? Because there's none for you. There's none. Nobody is writing stories, taking stories, making stories that fit the bill for you, and that's insulting. Go to Africa, go to the Caribbean, go to Asia, go to Japan, go wherever it is that your heritage, your descriptors, whatever, come from. Get those stories, get the meat off the bone of those stories, play those characters, right? Or go into a bookstore, go into a library. There is millions of billions of books in the world. And I am sure that there are tons of black characters in tons of books. But they're not adapting those things, are they? They're not adapting them. And you guys are not pushing for them to be adapted. I don't see Lupita Nyong'o pushing for African stories. Stories of African tribes, stories of African kings, stories of anything like that to be adapted. But no, she's happy to be Helen of Troy in a Greek myth that has historical elements in it. It's actually disgraceful. It's quite disgraceful. It's hurtful to the Greeks, is what it is. What Nolan's doing is hurtful to the Greeks. I hope that this film is boycotted up and down every country, up and down all theatres. Theatres are dying anyway. Nobody is going to the theatre. It is not. It's just not happening, people. It's too expensive. Theatre houses are empty. Nobody's going to see these films. They don't make back half the time what you paid to make them. And one of the massive reasons, I think, is because of what you're doing. It's this pushing of the message. DEI, DEI, DEI. Right? In the Odyssey, we even have whoever it is, the trans individual, I don't know, she was in Juno. And I'm not going to refer to her as a he because it's a she. She's a she. And it doesn't matter that she got her breast removed or if she's on hormones or whatever. She was a she, and she was a beautiful she. And whatever she's done to herself, it's awful. And casting her in a Greek movie, they're probably going to make her, I think, Achilles. Massive, massive insult to the character, by the way. Even if they don't make her Achilles and they make her something else, it's still abhorrent, awful casting. Like, if you For example, if you are a trans person, and I'm going to offend so many leftists with this channel, but my beliefs are my beliefs and I'm entitled to them just the way you're entitled to your beliefs. I don't believe in trans at all. Certainly not trans children. When you are over the age of, I would say, 21, have at it, do whatever you want. It's your life. Stop pushing it in my direction because I don't accept it. And I don't accept the word cis woman. I am a biological woman, right? Your rights do not trump mine and you are not a woman. You should not be in my spaces. I know this video is about the Odyssey, but I'm just going to quickly say what I think on that. And this, whatever that actress is, go and get a part that speaks to this journey that you've been on of being trans. Go and get a part like that. Don't go in this Christopher Nolan movie where everything is Hollywood actors, LA black characters playing the things they shouldn't be playing and all that. Don't get involved. Just don't get involved in these things. It just makes your reputation worse and people are going to come after you. And you think people are already coming after you anyway, apparently. These leftists, everybody's coming after the trans people. Well, that's not helping. Putting this trans individual in this film is not helping her. It's not helping you guys. It's not helping. It's making it worse. DEI is divisive, right? It's just like university. There should not be quotas for people of colour or underprivileged backgrounds and all this to get into university. It's ruining it. Oxford is ruined. Cambridge is ruined. Your Ivy League American ones are ruined. They're all getting ruined because of this DEI. People that are coming in that don't fit the culture and want to overthrow it. And it's happening in Hollywood as well. Right? That's what the Odyssey is all about. It's about subverting the truth, which is what all of the message in DEI is about. It's about subverting the truth. It's about up and down, left is right, black is white, white is black. Oh, the sky is actually purple. Oh, you can pretend to be a cat in the classroom and everybody must accept it. The whole world has gone nuts. But there is backlash. And the backlash that's coming for this Odyssey film is exceptional. And I agree with, like I said, the channels that have already commented. If you want more in-depth commentary, please check out the Metatron's channel. He will go through the myth part of the Odyssey. He will go through the factual part of it. He goes through the armour inaccuracies. He goes through the Greek descriptors. I think he's some kind of linguist as well. So I think to a certain extent he understands certain things. Also, the fact that this, he's going to do a video on this, so go to his channel. He's going to do a video on a book called Black Athena. Now, Athena was not black, and the author of that book didn't want to call the book Black Athena, right? So Christopher Nolan, I think, is basing a lot of this on that. And I think he's basing a lot of this on a woke leftist translator's version of the Odyssey. She translated it and she's obviously subverted a lot of it and made it woke and made it fit her agenda. And he's using her translation of the Homer's Odyssey to use for this film. And I think he even said that in an interview. So he's not using the best translation out there or the most accurate translation out there. He's using a translation that he just thinks, oh, I'll just grab that one. Anyway, the whole thing is a disaster. My 2 cents is get your butts out of these parts that don't belong to you. This is a Greek myth with Greek historical fact in it that should have Greeks in it. But if not Greeks, then accurately cast people that are basically people are calling her Helen of Congo. I know that's an insult, but I mean, it is what it is. None of it's accurate, and I will be getting on to doing because I'm more researched in it and can speak a lot more to it. I'll be doing interviews. I will be doing a video on Interview with the Vampire, the TV series, I will be comparing that to the novel and comparing it to the 1994 film. I'll also discuss the disaster of a film, which is a guilty pleasure of mine, which I quite like, which is Queen of the Damned. And the Vampire Lestat has not been released yet. It's got a lot of TV spots. It's featuring in a lot of magazines. It's got a lot of leaked footage from one of the actors. From what I can see, already it doesn't look anything like the novel. So I think we'll have problems going into the Vampire Lestat as well. Like I said, disclaimer, I like the TV show adaptations, I do, but I can pick apart them like nobody's business and how they are so inaccurate and they have literally almost nothing to do with the books, etc. But I do like them, I do love them. I will be watching The Vampire Lestat, and I am a big fan of Sam Reed, and I think he is excellent Lestat, despite a lot of his story arc being quite twisted and not accurate as well. But it is what it is. It's all over the place, and this is just me weighing in on the Odyssey and DEI and what a disaster this whole thing is. Please be nice in the comments, as I left in a short on my channel, which nobody has probably seen. I will block and delete you. I don't mind people having spicy views or comments or anything like that. If you insult anybody, if you insult myself, if you are overly woke, crazy lefty, go find some other channel to watch, please. Just you're not welcome here, basically, is what I'm saying. So without further ado, I will be dropping a link to Ko-Fi below, where you can support the channel. You are under absolutely no obligation, as with any other channel. But if you can support the channel at all, there will be a link to Ko-Fi down below. And in other videos, I'll be linking Buy Me a Coffee. I won't be doing Patreon. This channel doesn't have a professional camera and lighting at the moment, so it doesn't seem like that will be worth doing a Patreon for you guys. But in the future, who knows? Anyway, have an excellent rest of your day, YouTube. Do let me know what your, nicely of course, what your thoughts and comments are down below. And it's not a big channel, obviously, so I will be able to get back to everyone at some point. Now, this is a bit of a long form video. I did say I was going to pop on quickly, but it's turned into a bit of a long form video. Long form content creators are suffering at the moment. So if you could do your best to watch more long form content, because YouTube is pushing shorts. So you might not see who you're subscribed to. You might not see some of their long form videos appearing on your YouTube feed, just because YouTube is pushing shorts at the moment. So toodaloo, au revoir, goodbye, and I will see you in the next one.